Hello, my name is Jose Martinez. I'm a student at Charleston State University. This is an assignment we have for a critique on the book Drive, and it's done by Daniel Pink. And here's the book. And this book, it talks about motivation techniques, and it talks about how how motivation techniques nowadays are being taught wrong. We're kind of archaic, and we need to upgrade. He gives us examples. He tells us that we're in a back then in the caveman days and stuff when we wanted to fulfill our necessities. It was a 1.0, the motivation factors, and it reminds me of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and really when the basic requirements for food, shelter, and stuff like that. Well, that's what I like in his comparison to that one. So as we move forward and we're in this era, he says we're in the 2.0. It kind of gives it like a computer upgrade kind of thing, analogy. And so he says that we're doing it completely wrong. We're in the carrot and stick, or the rewards and punishment phase. And what a carrot and stick does, back in the well, it's an analogy of how a horse gets motivated by a rider on a carriage, or and they're holding a carrot in front of them, and the horse, in order to, to eat the carrot, he thinks that if he goes faster, that he'll get that reward, and so he continues to go faster, and he gets the reward. But if he doesn't go faster, then what the rider does is he beats him with a stick. Hence the terminology carrot and sticks reward, which is just a punishment or a reward, really. So he says we are archaic and we need to upgrade to a 3.0. And the 3.0 is really where we give the people autonomy. And when we do that, creative things start to happen. He gives examples of how some companies have done this, and he also compares like Wikipedia, that nobody gets paid for it, but it's doing very well. I mean, it even put Google's encyclopedia out of business, and so, and this one's still going on. So he gives examples like that. Now, I'm an MBA student. I'm a human resource student, but I'm also an MBA student, and I find some things wrong with this. I think that in the milieu, as far as the if you're in an environment that it dictates what you can use. In an intellectual milieu, or somewhere where you use creativity, yes, you can use this. You can tell your workers, look. He gives examples of, like, half a day you can do this, and you don't have to do anything as long as you can do whatever you want. And then it comes out that they come up with some very creative ideas. Well, in my field, if I do that, these guys will take off. Okay, so I have to develop structure, and in the MBA class, and as businesses, we need to empower our employees, and that's what autonomy is all about. And so that's what he's talking about. He's talking about it in a whole different way by giving upgrades of 3.0, like a computer program, like a computer glitch. They patch it up and they update it, But in today's era, we're in a free market society, and so it's a dog eat dog world, and you have to be really competitive, and that won't work in most situations. It'll work in certain situations. That's why the milieu, the environment, dictates what you're going to use. And so, if I'm trying to, let's say I'm trying to update my menu, okay, and I tell the staff, look, I'm going to give you a half a day to to come up with some menus. You can experiment all you want, but here are the parameters. It's going to be from 8 to noon. You can work on anything. If your product gets selected, and or if there's two that I like and we select it, put it on the menu, we'll put your name on it, and you can name it anything you want, and there's a $300 incentive reward. Okay, and plus, for the next 3 months, as that dish sells, you'll get 10% of it every time that dish sells. Now that's an extremely good motivator, and I think that's a good way to get people to perform a performance package. But he's talking it completely different, and he gives examples of how we need to do good for society and we need to belong, and well, that's not going to cut it. I mean, businesses are in it to make money. Now, you can do events like HEB gives to the homeless. They do Thanksgiving and they feed the homeless and stuff. You can do that. Give back to the community, and that's the same thing. He words it different, but to me it's a repeat. It's a repeat of what I've learned in the MBA classes that I've taken in my degree plan, and so it's just a repeat. He's not reinventing the wheel. He's just using different words and terminologies. I think that how the system we have is fantastic. You can do as high as you want in performance and reward your employees. I think that's fantastic. And those that don't want to work, well, then eventually either they ship or they ship out. It's a fantastic way to do business. I think that Daniel Pink, touches on some things that are pretty neat, and I think in Silicon Valley or in an intellectual milieu where the environment dictates, hey, creativity, yes, you can do that, but I don't think they would do that for a whole year and tell them go ahead and take the. No, there's parameters. It only give half a day or a day, but I do believe, and they teach us in our classes in the MBA course. Although I am in the human resource course, but I'm also in the MBA. They teach us to empower your employees to less micromanagement. Micromanagement is no good. If you're doing micromanagement, you're doing something wrong. I mean, because it sets an environment that is not good for the employees. You're second guessing them, and it just creates friction. And that's not how you do business. You're supposed to trust your employees, and your employees are supposed to they're supposed to reward that with their best performance, and they usually do. So my analysis of this book is that it's good reading. It's very good reading, but I'll tell you what, this book will find some dust as soon as I'm done with it, because I don't think it's applicable in nowadays society, at least not yet. But it may be maybe in a utopian kind of society where everything works perfect and everything, it might work. But right now, I'd have to give it a C. It's interesting reading, and that's my report. And I hope at least, even though most of the students gave a positive thing, I thought it would be great if I gave a different perspective. Thank you, and I appreciate you for watching this video.